electric steamer with bin. So this is the water source. We use this action cam to make marketing videos for like window cleaning, get our action content.
So when you're hooking up in the winter when it's cold out,
Yes, sir.
we sell ball valves like this. It comes with 2 of those packages too.
Got it.
Just leave that in the snowbank so this hose doesn't freeze up on you while you're getting ready.
Right.
Get to a job and this will be full of liquid antifreeze.
Up in here.
Yep, up in here and through all the hoses and everything else.
Okay, so it's winterized when it's not being used.
Correct. Yep. So it can be in any temperature that way.
Right.
Now on a cold morning, cold is a relative term to how you do your stuff and how you use things. That's like 10 degrees outside. You wouldn't just turn on the water, collect the antifreeze. You would circulate the antifreeze first in a closed loop to warm up all the metal. Otherwise, it's kind of like licking a flagpole. That water's gonna flash freeze against that metal because it's so cold. There's so much negative energy there.
Okay, so you want to heat up the unit with coolant in it, with antifreeze in it, before you introduce water. Okay. Now, does a lot of hot exhaust come out of this?
Correct.
So it couldn't be left in the trailer.
There are stack adapters that go from this to round, but then you're going to need to either go through the roof with that or divert it so it doesn't burn something. If you got a trailer right here, I think your height's pretty tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only 4 feet tall.
4 feet, so yeah, you're going to be, if you were on a 6-foot trailer, you'd probably be able to do that. But
Interesting.
4 feet would be,
Okay.
you'd want to keep a careful eye on it if you did it to start with to see what would happen.
Got it.
So like when it's cold out, then you would just simply turn there'd be green antifreeze in this whole system, so you create a closed loop like that, you turn the pump on, let it circulate, turn the heat on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Got it.
So this one's brand new from the factory. First time we've run it here.
Oh, this one's brand new. Okay.
Yep.
As if I just bought it.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
We test them all before they leave if you pick them up here though.
And where are these made?
These are made in South Dakota.
Oh, cool. Okay, American made.
Yep.
It looks like it's well built. I mean, it looks like quality.
A lot of good old-fashioned metal in that thing.
Yeah. I bought I won't say the name, but an orange pressure washer, and I could just tell it wasn't American made.
Sure. Hey, Mark, would you be able to round up some, or Josiah's got fuel for me there.
And the difference between the Honda, the genuine Honda engine, and a Cat pump,
Yeah.
Man, it's just night and day.
We're a large distributor for Cat. They're actually made in Japan.
Cat is?
Yep.
Okay, well, it's quality. It's the best reputation on the market, right?
Best quality on the market. They're kind of like John Deere where they've got the very best, and they've also got some that they kind of fit in at the bottom side of that to get a price point. But
really?
They're not the garbagey price point ones.
Interesting.
Yeah, their world headquarters is in Minneapolis here. It's up in Blaine.
I've heard that, yeah. Cat pumps. So this is just diesel or kerosene? Looks like diesel. Oh, kerosene? Notice it's red.
Yeah, they still put the red dye in there, so you can't use, because you could burn some kerosene in a diesel even if you wanted to. And the red dye is not to be used on the road, so it saves road tax. Got it.
No road tax. That's what that means. Okay.
All right, so this will be devoid of water right now because it got blown out before it left the factory. So it'll take a minute or two to get everything through there. You can see this is.
Are the heaters on now?
No heaters yet.
Okay.
We always want to see water coming out there at the end first.
Same as you do with a pressure washer.
Yep. So right now we're pumping the water into the pump. A good trick when you're on a job, if you push this down, see how I can overflow the tank? Means I've got enough water. I'm not going to run out in 5 minutes as I just can't quite keep up. If the water supply wasn't very good, then I could do that and the tank would still slowly draw down.
That's bad, right?
Yep, because you're going to get up on the roof and you're going to have steam and all of a sudden your machine's not going to be working quite right. That could be as simple as a kinked garden hose or a bad spigot. But when you're dealing with water and when it's freezing out, it's a different world than in the summer. You don't have margin of error time. It's something, if you lose flow, you're going to start to freeze. It's 20 below out, you're going to freeze a lot faster than a day that's 15. So now we're
Okay, so there's no trigger on this.
Correct.
Like a pressure washer.
Yep. There's a few reasons. If you let go of that trigger, you can start to freeze.
Interesting.
And we've done tests. You drop out of steam on a 15-degree day. Gotta look up my notes, but I think if we had 15 seconds, it would take us 2 minutes to get back to safe steam for a roof.
Okay.
So if you've got somebody up on a roof that goes like that for 15 seconds, are they going to pull that trigger and watch that steam carefully and wait, or are they just going to go back to work and possibly damage the shingle?
Interesting.
So it's for the user to not screw up the roof, and it's for safety of the equipment and the user as well.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
now we've got a nice water flow coming out of here. That's what it looks like.
Wow. Sounds like a jet. And where's the exhaust at?
The exhaust is right up here.
So you can warm your hands up here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. I see the insulation or something in there.
So we've got it's all pipe along here, and then the insulation's just on the end cap to reflect that exhaust back. And then next to that, this surface will get warm over time here too. A little of that energy goes back into the water tank just through the location there.
Okay.
Now let's watch this water here. Hear how it sounds kind of coarse?
Will this work for cleaning concrete?
It will. It'll be, if you've got a lot of dirt, it's going to take a long time. If you've got oils,
Yeah.
it'll be a lot better on that.
Like say at a convenience store where you got all these leaky cars coming in, they got oil spots all over the parking
You're
lot.
going to clean the surface great. That oil that's down into the concrete is tricky because concrete's porous.
Yep.
So sometimes you need chemical in addition to steam or other things to lift it up to make it look clean.
Interesting.
To clean the top so you can eat off of it's an easy thing to do. So we're going to switch over here. Listen to that steam. It's going to sound smoother pretty quick. See how it changed?
Yeah. No, less water.
Now we're safe on our roof.
Now you're safe on the roof when it looks like that.
Yep.
Okay.
You see that drop comes around? That joins us when things turn over too. So now you'll be able to, kind of, if you're going through 6-inch ice, you probably go, right about that fast.
Got it.
So on a roof, typically what you do is you undercut 2 blocks of two, and then you go underneath and you drop that block of ice. So you don't melt it all, you remove blocks.
Okay. Remove blocks. Got it. So you cut it out like a puzzle.
Yep.
Okay.
Because you know how heavy water is. You got to be mindful of that too, because if you start taking huge ones, you're dropping 75, 150 pounds on the ground pretty easily.
Got it.
So you want to
do like
these are hot right there where the metal is, so be careful there. But you can see that's pretty easy to hold on to.
right. Very impressive. That's a lot of steam.
All right, we cool it down and
Thanks.
yep. And you can see how it can carry down a gutter or something like that too. See how it's coming out the other end as soon as I stuck it in?
Yeah, you can clear a gutter.
Usually if you start working, you're going to melt that stuff anyway because you've got hot melted water running off from what you've melted. And that'll clean out your gutters and downspouts.
That's one of my bullet points on my new sign. It says frozen gutter cleaning.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me to do that at the beginning of last winter. They waited until the freezing weather started. Still had gutters full of water and leaves, and it was like a frozen leaf, popsicle.
Yeah, those are a mess because those leaves freeze and then it insulates.
Yeah.
So it'll take you a little.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
Tinkering around to do, but
They gave us a $100 tip because we were there for like 2 extra hours, thawing with a garden hose, thawing out their frozen gutters.
yeah, that's good. They gave you a tip.
They were nice. A lot of times people, they understand that you just put in an extra 3 hours and it's like not what you bargained for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they know that, but now it's almost cool to the touch.
That's fast.
It'll continually heat that steam as you're working, so you can work constantly with it. The fuel runtime is a little under 3 hours.
Okay.
You have to fill this up a couple times. We fill them with the burner on all the time.
If you're running all day.
Yep. So now if you were out in cold temperatures, what you would do is you turn this off. That's just saving you dilution on your antifreeze. Saving the quality of it. It'll draw down to the screen here, and when it does that, that's when you start to dump your antifreeze in. Let it go through. Once it screens, circulate a little bit. It gives you a nice even blend, and both those packages come with an antifreeze tester, so you can see the quality of your antifreeze. You're not just guessing that it's green, so it's got to be good.
Yeah, like you do with your automobile.
Yep. Because you don't want to have a slushed up antifreeze a day at work, and then you suddenly lost a few $1,000s because your antifreeze was $1 too weak or something like that. Downtime is something we try to avoid, and problems on the job are the kind of the key things we try to engineer around.
What's the life expectancy of one of these?
Really depends on how much you use it. We've still got some people that come in with 30-year-old ones.
Oh my God. Okay.
But you know, it's like anything. Sitting for years on end or decades on end can be harder on something than using it all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's like farm equipment. You get it out and put it through the paces.
I'd say 12 to 15 years is a good anticipation. But if you've got a rocking business where you're using them every year, you've gotten some good customer following, and you're always busy. We've got one guy that runs 8 crews.
8 crews. Wow.
He had some 3-year-old units he just traded in. The older units were a different version of this, so he wanted to get to the new ones. But
yeah,
he was, after.
Well, I was trying to think of some other things to use it for throughout the year besides, like to keep it busy besides ice removal.
Sure. Any grease, oil. We usually tell people if you're going to buy a piece of equipment for ice dam removal, make that your only reason. If you can't justify it for that, don't do it. If you can, then the other stuff's just bonuses.
Yeah. I was wondering if it would, accelerate, like we mentioned, get in the parking lot or the parking spots devoid of most of the oil before you use the chemicals. Like, would it be something you would use prior to using the chemicals, like as a more efficient, effective, way to get the bulk of it out of the way before you use the chemicals?
Yeah, or you might not even use the chemicals. Some of that oil staining, even the chemicals don't want to touch because it's down in there.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing it, but the pores are so small you can't get the chemicals down in there to interact.
Huh.
Maybe, I don't know if you noticed up here when we kind of hit this area, I saw some dirt flee from the concrete as you were doing that. I don't know if you saw the dirty water coming out or not.
No, I didn't really know what I was looking for.
But
I see there's like rust stains there.
Yeah, we've run a lot of water out here.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to grab my tape measure real quick, just so I know.
Do you want me to wheel it over there for you?
No, it's okay. Just want to see here.
And the handle is removable.
Well, it's 5 feet.
And your trailer was, what was it again? 6?
It's 6, yeah.
If you take that handle off, you can spin the axle the other way. So that'll save you a few inches if you're never going to take it out if you vent it permanently.
Okay. It's 5'4".
Yeah, you're about 2 inches over here. Give me about a half an
It's
inch.
about 5'2". So it would definitely fit in the trailer.
And then height-wise,
just over 3'2", 3 foot 1.5". So yeah, it would work. It'd be nice and cozy in there. I just insulated that with R13 closed cell foam board on the outside.
oh sure, so
It'd be toasty in there. Yeah.
I mean you've got a certain amount of thermal loss. It'd be like having a furnace running in there, so
Yeah.
it's not 100% efficient, so you've got some exhaust in that 390,000 BTU. You're probably going to put 30 to 50,000 BTU through exhaust into that air. But you need to have the door open so that you can get fresh combustion air in, so you don't generate an oxygen poor environment either.
I have a real window in there. I was wondering if I could figure out a way to efficiently duct it out, like out the side window.
Or go right through the roof.
Yeah, I could go through the roof. This opens. I was wondering if I could put like fabricate like an insert to put a duct
Sure.
out.
Yeah, and then you just put it on when you open the window when you get to a job, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
You never have to unload it. Just have hoses.
the only downside to that, or something to be thoughtful of, is that the exhaust pipe work's going to be probably hot when you're done.
Yeah.
So you've got to either figure out a way, pot holders, glove gloves, whatever, to have with you to disconnect that, and then don't put that something.
They make stovepipe like insulation, don't they? You could insulate it?
They got double wall stuff where it should be cooler on the outside and all that too.
Interesting. That'd be really interesting to be able to chalk it, to chalk the unit in there so it couldn't move around and have everything plumbed. So all you had to do was hook up to it. Just open the door and hook up to it.
Yep, and then if you can keep this warm enough, you get away from the need for antifreeze again. So if you can put a little heater in there.
Yeah.
The thing is, on floors, oftentimes, if you let your hoses sit there full of water, they'll start to slush up because that's colder. Like you ever been ice fishing?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was on Lake Mille Lacs.
Your feet were cold, but your head was hot.
It's been a long time. I was like 12 or 13.
Heat rises, so on trailers like that, you run into some issues. But
okay.
But be prepared with the antifreeze and maybe overnight. It all depends on the day too. When it's 30 or 25 out, it's a lot different world than when it's 10 below out.
I keep this trailer in heated mini storage.
That helps too then.
Yeah, so the whole unit would stay at room temperature, most of the time when it's not out and about. I just got the larger mini storage yesterday, as a matter of fact. I had a 5x5 and I just upgraded to a 10x14, and that backs in there just perfect.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, typically when you go into a homeowner's house, you're going to want to get water from them. It's very heavy and cumbersome to haul. I get that question a lot. But go to their laundry tub or someplace else like that.
That's where I get my window cleaning bucket filled. Yeah.
Don't try to open their outside spigot because you could be asking for a whole bunch of problems in winter if they've got an issue or if that pipe freezes. So go right to their laundry tub or other inside source and use the cold water from it.
Okay, use the cold water. And and how much water would you need?
2.4 gallons a minute.
Oh, you're talking about hook up the hoses.
Hook up that garden hose to it. Yep.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, because if you're going to the outside spigot, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
So I'm gonna have to have enough garden hose to go from the inside of their home
to your trailer.
To the trailer, yeah. All right, that's good to know. I've got 150 feet, but right now. So between
one single length or is it a couple lengths?
I got 350s, 350 footers.
Perfect. Keep one for just inside, so you don't have snow and slush.
Yeah.
On that one, and you don't drag some water into their house with that.
Right. A nice, fresh, clean one. All right. So, but the hourly rate's between $250 and $350.
Yep. Some people just bid by the job. Some people do it by the linear foot. Here, I'm gonna close this door.
Yeah.
Must have got the ice.
Cool.
That's something after you get a few jobs under your belt, you know how you want to price for how you want to sell your services. Everybody's unique in that.
Yeah, that's how it is with window cleaning. I had a learning curve with that, and now I'm having a learning curve with pressure washing. Yeah, but if you don't get out there and do anything, you'll never learn.
Yeah, I think most people that do pressure washing do all the time. Like your house is this much, your driveway is this much.
Yeah, they've already figured out what costs what. Yeah.
People get uncomfortable with hourly rates sometimes, so how long is it going to take you?
Yeah. When people ask me for estimates, I used to go out and give estimates every time somebody said the word estimate, and now if they have the least bit of if they give me the least impression that they're cheap, they're trying to find a budget service, I'll just say call somebody else. Because I don't even want to drive out there and screw around when they're trying to find the lowest price.
Yeah, because then you're up against 10 people, and they're not going to. You can sell a little bit of quality, but you're not going to usually get those jobs anyway.
Yeah, my best job this year, I just told the lady, she owned a $2.2 million mansion. I said, hey, I charge $65 an hour. I've never done a job quite this big. I really don't know how much labor is involved here. You've got a plethora of stained glass. I didn't even really know how to clean that the most efficiently. Thank God, I have probably the best tool on the market to do it, which is the steam cleaner that I described. And they were blown away. They felt like they got a bargain. At the end of the job, they paid me $3,300 and they gave me a $110 tip. They put my postcards on their breakfast table because they were the #1 house on the Summit Hill Association home tour.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. So, it's like pick your battles.
Yeah.
Some people really appreciate you and they've got more money than you'll probably ever see in your life. And you got somebody else over here that's saying your price is too high, but yet your van's 18 years old and you don't know how you're going to keep it going,
Yeah. it's that way in every market here and there.
Well, I had never even heard of this brand before.
They're one of the largest in North America.
You would say that's like that's a Honda engine on there.
Honda engine, yep.
So that's stiff competition to the North Stars. Okay.
We sold North Star Land a natural gas unit in their factory because they couldn't make one that met the standards they needed.
That's funny. That's really funny.
We can't advertise that on our website though.
I won't say anything.
Well, you can tell people.
That's an older one.
Yeah, this one's I think probably about 10, 12 years old, probably a trade-in.
I custom painted mine. I took my shroud off and painted it blue to match and put a reflective decal on it for my business name, the domain name, website address.
Mm-hmm.
And it really pops. I put a whole bunch of reflective stickers and stuff on it. Got a tack hour meter on it, so I know when it's actually due for maintenance.
Yep, change that engine oil, keep on top of things.
And I got AMSOIL in it all throughout. I changed it out from the get-go.
That's a wise idea. Those lubricants, that's a way they can, if they put an extra $1 or $2 into every bit of oil that got put in anything in this country, everything would last 3 times as long.
Oh, I know. Have you ever heard of Motor Coat? Motor Kote?
No.
That is an amazing product. I mean, flat out. That's Dr. David Purcell invented that. He was a professor from the University of Michigan. He had a